Welcome, everyone. Noah here on the Dynamics Weekly newsletter and podcast. This is a series of podcasts about Dynamic Communities Community Summit, which is scheduled for October 19th through the 23rd in Orlando, Florida. It is already June. This will be here in no time at all. Registration is open. So if you get a chance, look at their website and see what all is offered there. We'll be talking with Academy class and session presenters leading up to the conference. And today we have Steven Chinsky with us. Steven, how are you doing?
Doing well, Noah. Thanks for inviting me.
Yeah, glad to have you here joining us. I'm dialing in from Pensacola. Where are you calling from?
South of Boston, so up here in Massachusetts. It's a sunny day for the first time in God knows how long. I feel like I was on, we've had rain consistently for, oh, God knows, too long. So I'm so happy I can see a sun in the sky.
Well, down here in Pensacola, summertime has already kicked in. The beaches are packed. Tourists are everywhere. So it is vacation season.
I love it.
So I guess we'll start off with a little bit about you because you have a lot of experience in the Dynamics community, a lot of awards that I see on the website for Summit, things like two-time Microsoft Most Valuable Professional, NAVUG and BC All-Star, a four-time NAVUG and BC Granite Award recipient, Doug Guardian Award recipient, a lot of great titles there and awards there. So you've been around for a while with Dynamics, huh?
Yeah, this is going into in my 26th year doing this. So I started 1/1/2000. I left accounting because, as you can see, I have been an accountant for over 16 years, and basically left that to start implementing. At first, it was implementing ERP, and I kind of grew into more architecting it and advisory consulting, and then, of course, implementing over the many, many years doing this. So obviously in my 26th year, and yes, the community has afforded me a lot of awards that I've gotten over the many years doing this, as well as Microsoft giving me my MVP status for the last 2 years. Hopefully we will get, my renewal is up, so I'm waiting to see if I get renewed for a third year, as other MVPs are all renewed at the same time. I do have my certifications, obviously, and of course, my professional associations I've been affiliated with, as well as what you're here to talk about, which is Summit, a community summit. And I'm on the board of advisors. Currently, I am also the chair emeritus for the programming committee, which actually creates Summit. We pick these sessions and we pick the different categories. So we can talk a lot about my sessions. We could talk a lot about Summit and Academy. So as I'm heavily involved with creating all that for Summit each year.
Awesome, great. So you have a busy 2 weeks ahead of you, in fact, coming up for that October. You know, on the website, Summit is listed as October 19th to the 23rd, but you've got classes that actually start before that on the Friday, the 17th.
Yes, this year we've kind of copied somewhat of, not last year, because last year was not as many days we had Academy, but this year we added a third day. So Friday, there are several Academy classes that start Friday, the 17th, and there are ones that start Saturday. There's ones that start on Sunday, meaning one-day sessions. We even have half-day session ones, but in my case, I do have one that starts on Friday for manufacturing. We'll be going through kind of almost like take it from a basic model in the first few days, go to advanced, and we'll end on Sunday with more advanced, complicated things. We do try to go soup to nuts. Obviously, we only have 3 days in this case. So we do try to squeeze a lot in there for people to both learn, but we also have, we'll have workshops in the sense that we'll have people do little exercises that they'll have to go through to create their own company. You have access to a play company. So it's almost like you'll follow along. You won't just sit there with kind of like a pad of paper and some notes and stuff like that. You'll actually follow along with us doing the session. So, when we talk about bill of materials, you do a bill of material. When we talk about a work center, you might create your own work centers. We'll help you along. We try to do easy products. Last year we picked a Snickers bar. We actually brought Snickers bars in, and we gave them the bill of material and the routing to make a Snickers bar. It sounds funny. The year before, I think we did potato chips. And so we always like to pick something fun, my co-speaker and I. We pick a fun product, that way we can bring a sample in and we can have some fun with it, both working together as a group in the classroom. Everybody does help each other out, so that's probably the best part of it. But when you
Hmm.
leave, you actually leave knowing how to run manufacturing. That's probably the number one goal is, when you come there, you learn how to use the software. You learn how to actually operate within the manufacturing functionality of Business Central, and you can leave and actually start executing something when you get back to your office. Um, we do give people a lot of handouts. We do offer people, there's a manual we offer people to kind of take with them, which is a helpful guide. We do email it to them. We don't bring it with us. That way they can print it out on their own. It's hundreds of pages long. Um, and we do have a lot of fun. We do try to make it fun. We don't make it so, boring. We have enough breaks and everything like that. And you do get obviously lunch, and there's coffee and soda and water and all that to keep you well hydrated through the day. And then we do probably on the last day, we try to also, get together and just have some fun and bring some fun food in or something for the last day to make it a fun event.
That's that 3-day class. It's titled Basic and Advanced Manufacturing in Business Central / NAV. That one, right?
That is the class, yes. Even though we have NAV listed there, I know it sounds really funny because for those of you listening to this podcast, you know that NAV is the older name of the product pre Business Central world, 2019, 2020, when the name obviously was changed. But the reason why we say NAV is because if you are in the NAV product, you're still working in it, you haven't decided to go to Business Central, you still can learn some of the same functionalities that are in Business Central. Yes, there's new features, don't get me wrong, but if you're dying to start using manufacturing, or you feel, you know what, I don't really know it, nobody's ever taught it to me, I need help, somebody's got to help me along, you might as well come to our class because you can learn a lot of the basics that will take you through NAV, take you through Business Central, because a lot of the basics are within the same product.
And Stephen, who are your co-presenters for this class?
I'm co-presenting with David Weiser. Dave and I have been known each other, oh my God, for got to be over 10 years at this point, easily. Dave and I worked together at a partner many, many moons ago. He's been in our community just like helping out, and he's been part of our board of advisors a few years. He was part of our programming committee. He works at a company as like I work at a partner. He works at another partner. But we've been doing this now. I think we're going into our third or fourth year doing this class because we've gotten a lot of high accolades from the attendees who come to class. We've actually had people come 2 times to the class, and we've had one person come 3 times. They just love coming to the class and like finding new ideas or kind of talking to people along the way. So we've had a lot of fun with it. And again, like I said, Dave and I, we share the wealth. He teaches some aspects of the manufacturing. I teach others. Probably this year, it's on a Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Friday and Saturday, you'll see Dave. Sunday is just me with some of the advanced stuff that we're going to be talking about. And we'll go through
Okay.
that as so. Dave is actually on Sunday. He's actually taking a change to his instead of speaking at the manufacturing one, he's basically doing another class that's more of a half day class, or talking about Word documents and other things you can modify in Business Central. So he's teaching that class because that's also been asked to be one of the classes. So he'll be in that class as well. He'll be teaching that class while I'll finish up the manufacturing class.
Okay. Nice. And then, oh, so I see that you've got this class here, and then that Sunday, the 19th, you have a 45-minute. Is that a class? First time
So
attendee meeting. Oh, so it's not a class for that one.
no, we do this every year. We've pretty much done this. I think this is our probably 7th year doing it. Many moons ago, pre-COVID, I call it. We thought about this as a board of advisors. We thought about for people who come to Summit, what if it's the first time? Do you want
Mm-hmm.
some do you want some help? Do you want to have people who are experts, or have people who've been around the block long enough to come to a place where you can all gather together, all newbies, I call them, and kind of find out the tips and tricks of getting around the conference. How do you make the most out of a conference you're attending, or what should you do while you're here, or places to visit, or just anything. And there's about three of us who've done this for the past couple of years. We've actually had a 45-minute to an hour session, really teaching people, you know, what should you prepare for? Like, what are the tips and tricks to get around the conference and get the most out of it, get the best bang for your buck, as one would say, or how
Mm-hmm.
do you get the most education? How do you network properly? Where do you find certain people you're looking for? And this has kind of gone over well. Last year we did this session. I think we had over 100 people in the room. The year before, I think we had about 80 people in the room. And like I said, it's becoming popular because people who've never been to this, nobody really knows what to do. There's no secret sauce. There's no handout manual for people who've never attended such a conference of such a size. I mean, we're talking about close to
Mm-hmm.
probably what, 6,000 people attending a
It
conference.
is a
Not
lot
just,
of people. Yes.
yeah, I mean, it's not just BC, but what should you do? Where do you go? I mean, what are you there for? Like, what's your educational
Yep.
plans? Are you there with one person? You're there with three people from your company. So we, this has been phenomenal, this session. So if you're a first timer and you're listening to this podcast, I highly recommend going to it. It's Sunday, Sunday, right late afternoon, right before dinner time. And I highly recommend you going there. Normally I race from my classroom all the way to this session. I get there just as we're about to start, because normally we try to end the manufacturing session, around 4:30. Gives everybody enough time to go to a session. There are a few like these newbie ones, or gives them time to have plans if they're planning something for dinner before obviously the conference begins on Monday.
That's great. Because it is a big conference. A lot of people from all over the world, really, not just the U.S. or Canada.
Oh no,
It can be,
it's crazy.
yeah, it can be pretty intimidating for new people. But I've been going to these for years and years now, and I can vouch for that. The community on a whole is very welcoming and inclusive, and encourages people to network, meet new people, keep up with old associates. So it's a very um, tight-knit group, and you can easily be a part of that tight-knit group.
Oh yes, I mean
So,
you'd be surprised. It's
yep.
fun.
And let's see, so that is that Sunday. Um, Nothing on Monday for you? You got a little
That
rest there, huh?
Yeah, Monday the conference begins, and what ends up happening is, and I know you see the names at the very top of the three sessions I've got for the week, but we will not publish the date and the times of your sessions until July. Um, there's a small group of us that actually go through this as part of being uh, as part of being part of the committee that creates all the sessions. We do that work over the summer, where we actually pick rooms and days and times and stuff like that. So it'll be published over the summer, probably mid-July to more towards the end, so people can start making their agendas and having fun. In addition to the three I'm doing there, the Ask the Experts, which is where a group of experts come in and can answer every one of your questions. So I highly recommend going to that one, because I want people to bring all their problems. Bring your problems. Bring anything. I mean, if let's say you don't know how to do subcontracting, talk about that. Let's say you have no idea how do you do, picking in manufacturing. Well, let's say you don't know how to do planning. Come there with those questions and answers. We'll help you out. I mean, my planning worksheet one has probably been super popular the last several years, because it is a great session where we just concentrate solely on the planning worksheet, what it's for, how to use it, what are the tips and tricks behind it, can how do I make it work for me as a user in an organization? What are the pros and cons of setting different settings up, and how does it play out in the long run? And the other one here, this is a new one that just came about. I did this at a partner conference for the BC, the Business Central partners in the United States. Um, And this is the new 1099, the IRS 1099 changes that have just come through late last year into this year. And for people who have never, didn't even know there was a 1099 change, this is probably going to be one of those highly recommended sessions where you're going to go in there and we're going to actually talk for 90 minutes and we're going to actually walk through this soup to nuts. How do you set it up? How do you talk to the IRS because it's fully automated? How do you get the 1099s out through email now, not through paper? So we're going to go through this soup to nuts A to Z and teach you how to use Business Central properly with 1099s and let Business Central file your 1099 information right to the IRS for you on an annual basis. So those are my 3 hot sessions. But in addition, we have basically about a little over 100 sessions so far in totality that are going to be for Business Central. I think there's more cross product sessions that are Business Central also. There's about, I think it was somewhere in the vicinity, I heard 10 or 20. They're going to have a special day called the GP to BC Day. And I believe they're doing it on Sunday where you can come for people who are GP people moving to BC and you're kind of curious how to get there. You can have your own private day, I think the day before Sunday, to come in and learn how to migrate from GP to BC. I think that's going to be a day. I don't know how many total sessions, but I believe somewhere in the vicinity of 20, I think it was, to choose from. I know we're going to
Mm-hmm.
have about 20 Microsoft BC sessions. That doesn't include the general session that we'll have for 90 minutes. We're going to have a 90-minute general session for the first time. We've never had 90 minutes. So we're moving to a 90-minute general session for Business Central. Um, and then you've got, of course, all the other sessions, like they said, a little over 100. Some are 60 minutes, some are 90 minutes. And again, you can pick and choose when they get published, when the app gets published, and you can start putting your agenda together personally. But it is an amazing compilation of sessions ranging from, you've got your admin, your administrator of the Business Central, you've got your people in finance and accounting, you've got your manufacturing supply chain people, you've got your projects, if you're doing projects and or service, you've got one sitting in development or kind of like what I call that development side of things. You've got reporting and Power BI. It really, if you're new to BC, you've never used it before, we have a whole new to BC track where it's just the basics. Get my, wet my whistle kind of stuff and kind of go from there. So it's an amazing group. Uh, obviously we're in Orlando and hopefully,
Mm-hmm.
and then next year we can even have more sessions. I'll be moving to another obviously location, but hopefully next year we'll have much more sessions in Business Central, as well as more academies. So we're hoping to grow the academy to offer much more academy sessions than we have today.
Um, you mentioned briefly the app. Do you know when that will be available for everybody?
I believe the app comes out right around when they publish their session, the rooms and the days and times. So I would say late July, early August, you're probably going to start seeing emails load the app
Okay.
sometime around there. That's when, but what we've been told, it could change depending upon obviously people are finalizing the app, but the date could change. But right now, that's a tentative date.
Okay. So there's a lot going on for you just by yourself there doing those sessions and classes. If people want to get in touch with you in between any of those sessions or classes, what's the best way for them to get in touch with you? LinkedIn, or is it going to be through the app, or do you have some other means you use most readily?
People can find me if I'm not doing a session or if I'm not somewhere running around doing my duties for Summit. Normally, they'll find me at the medic booth. This year, we do have a medic booth. Again, like we have in many, many, many years. So our medics will be there. Different people will be there. At Microsoft will also be at the medic booth. They like to sit there during their off hours. You'll find me at the medic booth. If you can't find me at the medic booth, you can certainly reach me on LinkedIn. You can find me on LinkedIn, Steven Chinsky. You can see my face and everything's there. You can email me at Chinsky, first initial last name, at llconsultingservices.com. You can call me on my cell phone and find me, but I do not care if people want to reach out to me, 774-254-1185. And again, I'm always somewhere. And people, like I said, I'm going to be at the medic booth, and you can find me there. Um, and you can definitely find me in multiple places, but you'll see me at sessions and running around. Probably the BC sessions are in one area of the Gaylord this year, so we are very concentrated in that one zone. So that's why I'm saying you can find me running around there, or the medic booth is right there at the main hub of that zone. So you can always find me there. You can find my cohorts in crime, since I do a podcast like yourself, Noah. um, the BC3 Amigos. This is three people who we've been around the product. I think if we added all of our years up, I think it's like over 110 years doing this product. And we do it every month. We talk about BC. We invite people from the outside. We invite Microsoft. We invite ISVs. We talk about the product. We talk about learning the product. You can find us there. Find me there as well. If you are going to go to Summit, and I'd highly recommend it, I will say this. I know the price is changing. I think right around now there's a price change in effect or coming to be in effect. But if you're looking for a 10% discount, you can always use the following code, BC. So it's BC, the number three, just the number three, Amigos with an S at the end, and 10. So BC3 Amigos 10. That gives you 10% off whatever price is being at that point in time.
Okay, great. You mentioned the medic booth, just for everybody to realize that if you're brand new to these conferences, the medic booth, I don't know if you have a location for it, but it's not really it's not medical, it's more product oriented. So
Yes.
I know when you go from the Gaylord first atrium across the bridge to the conference center, do you know where it will be placed?
This year we haven't the Business Central folks. So when you come across the atrium, you're kind of in the middle. So if you go down, you're going to the expo floor. That brings you to like the bottom of the basement. When you go up, you're going to a mezzanine, and then if you go one level higher, uh, so on the deck of registration are going to be all the other product lines. We're in the mezzanine. We're in the middle. So not on the expo floor, not at the top floor. We're in the middle. Um, so we're going to be, as you're going up the escalator, when you get off, if you go to the end of the floor, the BC will be all there. So we'll be kind of in the middle. So GP, F&O, Power will be at the top where registration, I believe, is. We're in the middle. And then the expo floor is down at the bottom, where the expo floor is going to be. And of course, lunch and other food will be down there as well.
Okay. And L&L Consulting Services, is that you are VP of that Dynamics practice? Will they
Yes, sir.
have a booth in the expo hall?
We will have a booth in the expo hall. We're all the way, when you walk in, we're all the way to the left side as you're walking up towards one of the DCI special booths where they have different activities going on. So we're on that side of the expo hall. You can always find us on the map when they publish the map in your app, as well as when they publish it on, and when you'll see it also on the website. We'll also be at the medic booth, helping sponsor the medic booth as well for people who come and visit. So you'll see us there, obviously, as I mentioned, but we'll also have a booth on the floor.
Okay. And Stephen, you may have some other points you want to bring up as well, but in me wrapping up my questions for you, you've been to Summit down here in Orlando before. Have you fed the gators yet?
Have I fed? I can tell you I've been on a airboat ride, not feeding the gator. It was one of those where you're on those airboats and they're flying around, so you get to see the gators kind of come out of the water and lay on land and stuff like that. So kind of almost
Right.
like let's say a faraway meet the gator, if you want to call it that. But I've never fed a gator in my life. I will
Do you
say
know,
that.
but in the hotel's main lobby where they have all the little river and the turtles and have alligators as well.
Oh, that's right, because when you're crossing that midsection there, they do have alligators over there. But I've never
Yep.
fed the gators at the Gaylord. I mean, I see it obviously because we've done the Gaylord many times. This isn't our first rodeo, as one would say, at the Gaylord and Summit. But I've never done fed the alligator there. It's probably because I just haven't stopped running around like a chicken. I'm gonna look for that this year. I want to see this. Okay, I'm gonna try to
Do it.
see if I can
Look
do that.
for it and let us know if you feed the gators.
I'm gonna I'm gonna do that. Yeah.
Okay, good deal. Well, if you have anything else you want us to bring up, now's the time to do it before I wrap up the call with you.
I would probably say for those of you listening, it would be a privilege for everybody who's listening to this to come and attend Summit. Highly recommend it. It's a way to pay some short dollars to get an extensive amount of education. That's, over the course of 4 days. If you can come to Academy, I think you'll leave, highly educated in some functional area that you've been dying to learn for the first time. Maybe you've never learned it before, or maybe you're new to BC and you need to learn, and you haven't been trained, but you have an abundance of Academy classes to pick from. You'll have hundreds of different sessions to pick from in Business Central to learn from in the span of 4 days, or 3.5 days, as one would say. Um, but I highly recommend going it, because obviously the ROI is massive on this, because of the fact that you're getting so much education for such little dollars. And also the fact that not only will you get educated, but the most important thing here is you get to meet new people and faces that use Business Central, who might be in your industry, who might be down the road from you, for all you know, in the same town or city or state. And you can start networking with them, so that you can reach out to them and say, hey, how do you do this? And you can teach yourself all that information. So it's an amazing thing what Summit does. The friendships made, the learning, the education. You get to reach out to people who, after Summit is over and done with, throughout the year, you get to reach out to people like myself. Let's say you want to email me a question and I write back to you. Again, it's probably one of the more, of the many conferences we have throughout the year. This is obviously a very popular one, because obviously of the size and magnitude of it, and does cross more than BC. Don't get me wrong here. If you're into Power Automate, Power Apps, Power BI, you can go over those sessions as well. It's all included in your price to attend, and it's a lot of fun. And we have a lot of fun in Orlando, and I know we'll have a lot more fun in next year in a different state, at the next location next year.
Agreed. Looking forward to that as well. Well, hey, Steven, thanks for joining me today. It's always great to share with our audience news about upcoming events like Summit. To all of our listeners out there, if you get a chance, please try to meet and introduce yourself to Steven. It's always great to meet people in person, make some connections that way. And hopefully, we'll see all of you in Orlando, and look for the Gators while you're there. All right. Thank you, Steven. That was a great call.
Oh, thanks, Noah. This was fun. I love it.